Hey, welcome everyone to another edition of Let's Talk About It. This is Susan Johnson. I'm here with my co-host Dennis O'Brien, and we got a fabulous guest for you this evening. We are really, really pleased because we have the new director of the Click. That's the community licensed kitchen. That is an amazing place. We're the only place in Connecticut that has this sort of activity going on, and it's really, really important for the food, for the businesses, for the farmers all over this eastern Connecticut and in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Amazing work that Click does, and I want to welcome to our show the Executive Director, Kathryn Stahlberg. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so excited. I'm now in month 4 of being the Executive Director of Click. Lee Duffy retired back in May, so it's been a really exciting summer working with the 36 farms, the 27 small food businesses, and so many of our great community partners. So thank you for having me on.
My pleasure, and congratulations on your new position. Dennis.
Yeah, every time Phoebe was on the show, I used to mess up their name, but I got it right. I looked at it several times today, and you left out one word, Susan.
Uh-oh.
It's the Community Licensed Cooperative Kitchen.
Commercially licensed cooperative
commercially
kitchen.
licensed.
I
I screwed
know.
up
Click.
again.
It's an acronym. It's a tricky acronym.
It's real tricky. It
doesn't always click in the brain.
You take 2 letters from the word license. I figured that out, but I got the first word wrong, so again I struck out.
No, you're good.
Next year, I'm going to get it right.
Well,
For sure, anyway. Okay.
I'll hold you to that.
But anyway, it's Click, and it's over at 41 Club Road.
That's right.
Not far from St. Joseph's nursing home.
Across the street.
Across the street used to be the old American Legion.
No.
No, Knights
KFC.
of Columbus. Knights of Columbus.
KFC.
Right. Yeah,
Voila.
that's right. American Legion's part
Some of our cooks talk about going to dance party there, like
back
15 years ago.
Back in the day.
Yeah. They point out where the old bar was.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
good. But you know, when people cook at Click, they still play music, so we have fun.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
wonderful. And you do
There's
have
a
some
lot of
nice
positive energy at Click.
Nice events there, too. I've been at a few events that you've had with discussions about all sorts of things having to do with farming, the community, and we've been very, very, very pleased with the fact that Phoebe's original idea and this University of Connecticut being the agricultural university,
Yes.
and carrying on that. What would we say? The hose or the tractor?
Yeah, the environmental justice and social justice movement around
Yes.
food and food sovereignty here in Eastern Connecticut.
Yeah.
And students really are still part of it. So obviously Phoebe still teaches her food justice sociology courses
Sure.
at UConn. A couple of our current staff, who you can read about on our website, are former students of Phoebe's. Talia Perez, our food access coordinator. Juan Pablo, our Mesa Comunitarias coordinator, delivering to 53 housebound food insecure families
Oh,
here in
my
Willimantic
goodness.
every single Wednesday. We just piloted
Wow.
a dairy and meat program in addition to fresh fruits and vegetables and other staples, keeping families food secure. And we had UConn interns this summer, and Phoebe was involved in that as well. Phoebe, for those who don't know, Phoebe Guthrie is a sociology professor at UConn, and she dreamt up Click in 2008, 2009 with her students, recognizing the need for an organization like Click, doing so much with the incubating small food businesses and helping with the government paperwork to get those licenses and help our communities and celebrate.
This is the perfect place for it. And I have to say one other thing to give high praise to Phoebe and everybody who's been working on this for all this time. They tried to do it at Yale New Haven before, but we got it done here.
Yes, it's
And
really
very
exciting.
proud.
There's a lot of positive energy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you said, mentioned who Phoebe Godfrey was, but I think most of our listeners, unless they're new, know who she is.
Good.
She's been on our show many times, and I'm sure she's been on the Wayne Norman show. And she gets around and does a lot of great things in this community, in addition to all she did to get Click off the ground and to keep it going for a long time. I think Chelsea Courier.
Courier.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I wasn't sure what it was. I used to say Charrier or Charrier. It's Courier?
Yes.
Chelsea Courier. She's been there a while now. And she's been on the show a few times, too.
Good. She's actually currently on maternity leave.
Wow.
She gave birth to her first daughter.
Oh, wonderful.
Child on August 4th, Gretchen. And she's going to come to our staff meeting next week, and she'll be back as our food hub manager on November 4th. She's
Okay.
currently on Connecticut paid family leave, which is a wonderful thing.
Isn't that great? I
yeah.
love that bill. That's a wonderful thing that
Yeah.
we were able to do. It's something that every state should do, and I'm thrilled that we have that. And it was something that took a while to get it in there, but having paid family medical leave is a great thing. And Yes, Dennis is waiting.
Yeah, I'm waving my hand. I'm raising my hand, trying to get called on by Susan. And she did. She called on me. And I just want to say that I do most of the advertising for Let's Talk About It. I put it on Facebook. I put it in the newspaper. And what I focused on with your show, and I want to come back to it time and again as we go through the show briefly, because it's one of the main reasons why you're here at this time, and that is that special event that's coming up on Sunday, September 28th, 4 to 7 p.m. at Click, 41 Club Road.
Nope, sorry. It's very confusing. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Westford Hill, I know our flyer might not be the best, but Westford Hill Distillers, which is a farm in Ashford.
Yeah, I know who they are.
20 minutes north of here.
Yep.
They are a big supporter of Clicks.
Yep.
The owners are like godparents to Chelsea, who's been on the show, who's been a Click staff member for 6 years. And they offered to host it on a Sunday afternoon. And so they actually turn Connecticut fruit and vegetables into liqueurs, into brandy, into vodka, into etc. So they will be having a cash bar, but for this $50 ticket, you will get free music from Bruce John, Patty, and Jason Altieri, and you'll get food from 2 of our food businesses, Twin Beaks and Maria's Restaurant, Angela's Mexican Food.
Okay, so I have the site wrong, and
no, you're good. I'm
the
sorry.
date right. It's Sunday.
Yes.
It's Sunday the 9th, the 28th of September.
Yep.
From 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Westford Distilleries.
Yep, that's correct.
And who are the principals of Westford?
So the owners, Margie and Lou, they started this. She used to be the rep for New York Farm Bureau. So they have a lot of farm connections. This is up in Ashford.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really more of an effort to connect with the 36 farms that we work with.
Okay.
And they're, and these connections.
That's a fabulous thing to connect with the farms, and I can't wait to see it. And can you tell us how people could maybe order these tickets online?
Yes. So if you go to www.clickwillimantic.com and hit the events page, it'll be the first event, and you can buy your ticket right there, and we would really appreciate it. We've only sold 9 out of the 50 tickets, and the event is 9 days away, so we really are sort of in go time. It hopefully will be beautiful weather, but if it's not, there's an indoor barn space. You can, buy drinks or not buy drinks. The food will be included. It'll be a great time to learn more about Click, and we're going to celebrate the 10 years of Click. So Phoebe and her wife Tina will be doing the slideshow. We've got Brian Hulbert, our Connecticut State Ag Commissioner, coming for the first hour to speak to us.
I'll be there with a citation celebrating your 10 years.
Thank you.
Yeah. Having Brian Hulbert there is always good.
Former state rep.
I used to serve with him my first term, and he was very excited about becoming the agricultural commissioner. He was all about the farming, the milk, everything. He's really big on agriculture in Connecticut.
He knows a lot. I was really lucky to meet with him a couple times when I first started.
He's been on the show too.
Good. It's
on,
exciting. It's going to be a really positive event because we have a lot of stories to tell about how do you build a local food economy in a rural part of Connecticut, like the northeastern corner, the quiet corner.
Right.
And connecting to the universities, connecting to the schools, connecting to Willimantic, to the food businesses, etc.
That's a good question. Now you could answer your own question because you've done it. You as an organization.
Yes.
Pretty much. I mean, you've done it, and there are degrees
of everything.
We're building it.
Yeah, we're building it.
You're not, it's not perfect. It's not a finished product, but you're doing an awful lot. I was in another town today west of here, I won't name it, talking to a public official, and he asked me who was going to be on the show tonight. And I told him you were from Click, and he said, "Oh, I know all about them." He said they've been getting a lot of funding from the government and doing all kinds of great things for agriculture in this whole region. And I said, "That's right." I said, "How did you know that?" He said, "Oh, a lot of people know that." So that's great. This wasn't in Ashford or Wyndham.
Yeah.
So you're very well known.
That's good. I mean, we were really lucky. Unfortunately, it's going to end, but we were really lucky to get a local foods promotion program grant from USDA, so federal dollars, to help us buy from the 36 local farms at retail prices, and then we're a food hub, so we aggregate, separate, and then sell on to the grocery stores, Willie Food Co-op, Bob's IGA, and local school districts, so for the farm to school program.
I'm just very thrilled about that, and also Senator Flexer and I were able to bring funds to CLIC, and so we're very thrilled that it's been used that way. And one of the selling points as well is not just Connecticut agricultural areas, but also you reach into Massachusetts and Rhode Island agricultural areas, and to be able to do that is fabulous. And going to the schools now and that sort of thing. That when Phoebe first started talking to me about this before I became the rep, I thought, wow, we could be more like New York, because a lot of their agricultural district area people actually sell to the university systems, and they're bigger. They have bigger farm area. But when we look at our Connecticut and combine with Massachusetts and Rhode Island, that also is a way for us to have a good expansion of all the properties and taking advantage of regionalization. For agriculture. Yes.
So I don't know, you don't probably know my background, but I'm 47 years old, and I previously was the agricultural staffer on the U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee for a senator from New York State.
Oh, you
so
know about
between
this.
2010 and 2014, before I joined USAID.
You'll have to tell us who that was.
Gillibrand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kristen, yeah.
But I was her ag staffer, so it's very bipartisan. Back 2010 to 2014, we did 2 farm bills together, 2 child nutrition reauthorizations, and I traveled all over the state of New York to all 66 counties, doing farm bill listening tours with her and sometimes without her, and working with small farms from Long Island to up near Buffalo, etc. Trying to find ways to do value added. So like something like this, the Westford Hill Distillers, where you're taking all this local fruit veg and making it into like a high value product that's shelf stable is like wonderful. This is exactly the kind of work you've helped get CLIC to help our farms, to help our food businesses grow and be productive economically, to diversify livelihoods within the household, to keep farmland in agriculture.
Yeah, well, it's so important because I know that there had been a move by the West to take our agricultural capacities away back in the day when Cargill sold out their grain elevator in the Franklin area. And so I was chairman of public health then, and they came to me and they wanted more assistance. I said, well, you give us our grain elevator back and maybe I'll think about it. But there has been a move, and so that's why this is so much more important even now, because the competition for doing agricultural work throughout the country is there, and it's important for us to have agricultural development and sales and so on support, so that we can manage to have a food supply right here that doesn't have to be transported if there's a supply chain problem.
That's exactly right. To get a local productive food supply chain is hard, and we really saw that during COVID.
Yes.
And we've seen it during some other moments, actually even this year, having to do with like systems outages and cybersecurity and issues along those lines, that it's really important to have a thriving local food system. It's also important for the identity of the community and the individual and business owners and homeowners and representatives of government and community leaders to have a sense of connection to the land. And so that's why we try to do so much with the schools to connect, because the next generation is growing up fast.
Oh, they are. They grow really fast now. I mean, I've never seen them grow so fast.
Well, yeah.
I have 7 and 9-year-old boys, so I understand they grow real fast.
My grandchildren are one's in college now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a junior in high school.
They're the future.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. We got to take care of them, make sure they got some food.
Well, and that they know how to be leaders and that they can help. And, a lot of even some of our members at CLIC are young, right? And they're taking a lot on responsibility-wise to run food trucks and get their businesses incubated at our commercially licensed cooperative kitchens, and so that they can then, maybe like Jefferson, then get their own, brick and mortar, et cetera. But we incubate these 27 businesses, and we have 3 more joining us the next month, so it'll be 30. And we have SIF money coming in to do some renovations so that we can grow the building and grow the facilities and grow our membership to hopefully 75 or 80 small businesses. And again, people coming right out of college or maybe right out of high school, they're 18 years old. This is the kind of small business that for youth empowerment, youth, the definition of youth is up until 29 years old, is to be able to invest in your own future. And if you're a business owner or if you're a farmer, you're investing in the future of your community and yourself. And that is something that, CLIC is really trying to push, because it's about hope and the future and economic development for our communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a question for you that I think you may have answered in general so far, but you probably have more to say about it. Maybe not. But what brought you here? What
So
made
I'm
you,
a
what made you
local
come to
Eastern
Click?
Connecticut girl.
Oh, you
Did not
are?
know that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did
And
not
I
know
was a
that.
professor like Phoebe. I have a PhD in applied economics and geography from the University of Cambridge, and I was a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Sociology at Cambridge. My undergrad was from Brown University, so Rhode Island, and I've worked on food security and economic growth and diversity of livelihoods my whole career, from Fulbright Fellow in Madagascar in 2000-2001 to being a professor at Cambridge, Sarah Lawrence, and Brown University. And I worked as a Senate agricultural staffer for 4.5 years. And I was laid off in February from USAID, having given 10.5 years of my life to helping refugees and small communities grow better agricultural value chains, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, but also South Asia and Central America.
Wow, that's a fabulous a list of different things that you've done in different places, and it's really important, I think, to in some of these areas, especially with agriculture, to have an international understanding of what's going on. I know that the president of Yukon has an international, background as well, and she understands so many different things about energy, environment, and those kinds of things. So when you talk to her, it's not a blank face at all. She gets it. Same with our new president here at Eastern Connecticut State University. He also has a really good international background. I think it really helps for people to understand what's going on in other parts of the world and how things work, because you can take things from other parts of the world and they can take things from us, but there are a lot of things there that are being done all the time. And so what do you think that some of the things you learned that you brought back to this country in terms of agricultural management and how things work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I think, and I would say this at USAID all the time when we were working with FEMA, for example. So I did climate risk management and disaster management.
Yes.
And so FEMA is the, the award-winning model of a public-private partnership that helps manage climate risk here in our country. And it's related to the risk management agency part of USDA and all the crop insurance that farms in all 50 states really rely on to manage climate risk on our lands. I have learned overseas the resilience of different governments and communities and private sector corporations to manage that risk differently, because the extremes in sub-Saharan Africa are so much more than the extremes here. I mean, that's a huge generalization, but the barriers to entry for people to join the value chain can be bigger. So I've worked both domestically and internationally back and forth through my 25 years since I graduated college, and I grew up in East Haddam, and that's kind of a agricultural town, and I really believe in learning and applying skills in your local area. And then, obviously when you're overseas, everyone's a diplomat, right? You're sharing your experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, and the other thing that kind of dovetails with what we're going through right now is a change in the SNAP benefits, which used to be the food stamp program, and some of the changes that we'll be faced with a reduction in those support systems from the federal government. Maybe there will be a way for us to, be able to give more support again, or help expand the support, even though that's where we should be going anyway, for food access for people here in Connecticut.
Yeah, I worked on the Senate Agriculture Committee, as you can imagine, for the state of New York, trying to increase SNAP benefits and the school lunch benefit back in 2010 to 2014, and we faced a lot of resistance, but part of our job through the amendments that we either were able to pass or some of them failed was to push all representatives of all three parties, I don't know, independents also a party, about understanding. And there's actually more people in rural America who use SNAP than urban, so it's a misconception that's been well documented by FRAC, the Food and Research Action Committee, and that's something that, that it's really, people who live on SNAP, they don't get much, right? It's like $1 something a meal, and you have to cook the food. It's SNAP, it's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's actually for the working poor, and it keeps people fed so that they can keep going to their jobs. It's not a disability program, and so it should be bolstered, not removed, and so I think it's our job as advocates to explain that to people.
Absolutely. And I think that that's one of the things that we're very concerned about, because there are, I think, a lot of people in this community and who are utilizing SNAP and may not be able to after some of these new programs are put into place to, say, for example, one of the things we're faced with right now at the Capitol is that instead of every year to be evaluated, people will have to be evaluated twice a year, which in terms of staff requirements doubles the need for the staff to, or doubles the need for having more staff. If they're going to have to do the evaluations every 6 months as opposed to once a year. So when you have, we have almost 1 million people on, say, the Medicaid program that are going to have to be evaluated twice a year, it's like having 2 million people on Medicaid now.
Yeah,
Forced attrition.
that's unfortunate. And when you say evaluation, you mean evaluate their continued eligibility.
Correct.
And that is, that can be problematic because all kinds of things can happen where somebody who's actually eligible doesn't get back on because of all the red tape and all the difficulties in going through that process. And if you cut back on the number of people that are doing the evaluations, while you double the number of evaluations, people are going to get caught in the crossfire.
Wouldn't you hope that in 2025, with AI and technology and digital, that this could be easier for people to receive the government benefits as opposed to creating false barriers through the red tape?
I hope you're right.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that
there has to be a willing partner by the people implementing the program.
Just to follow up on
got
that
that right.
idea with AI, the thing is that the rules that are put in place now to make sure someone qualifies, for example, is they have to show their employment, they have to show they're working at least 80 hours a month, or that they're getting an education for 80 hours a month. So those requirements are going to really be something that's in addition to just showing your income eligibility and, reporting your income from your work. Now they have a requirement that you either volunteer or you're going to work or do something. And I still haven't figured out how they're going to manage the people who are applying for Social Security disability and can't really work because they're in the application process. And that can take a few years. So that's going to be a real problem as well. But anyway, I think we're going to be stopping for a break here. This is Susan Johnson. I'm here with Kathryn Stahlberg and Dennis O'Brien are my co-hosts, and we will be right back after these messages.
Hey, Dennis O'Brien back on Let's Talk About It, and we've got Kathryn Stahlberg from Click, the
Executive director. This is my fourth month. No,
okay.
I want the
name of the organization. It's what's the first word?
Commercially licensed cooperative kitchen.
Kitchen.
It's a terrible acronym, except it's kind of cute.
Well, it's confusing.
Adorable.
Those two C words. Those two C words mess me up all the time. But it's Click, and it's on 41 Club Road. It was started by, among others, Phoebe Godfrey. Who's been on this show many times, and Chelsea Courier has also been on the show, and she has a position that Kathryn can tell you about. But we want to talk a little bit about a big, important event that's coming up in Ashford on the 28th of September from 4 to 7 p.m. for a benefit for Click, but mostly a celebration of 10 years of Click on Club Road, I believe.
Yes, there we go. And so it's at Westford Hill Distillers. It's 196 Chatty Road, Ashford, Connecticut, Sunday, a week from Sunday, 4 to 7 p.m. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food from two of our food businesses that we incubate at Click, and it's going to be an exciting day. You're going to hear lots of stories. The Ag Commissioner, Brian Hilbert, will be there. Staff will be there, like myself, to talk about the great work. And it's on a beautiful farm. If you haven't been to Ashford, this is just a beautiful place, and this is where they're buying local fresh fruits and vegetables and distilling, vodka and brandy and such. And it's going to be a great event. And the tickets are $50, but it includes the music and the food, and supports a great cause. We serve. We do food baskets to 53 high-need families here in Willimantic every single Wednesday. We work with 36 farms. We work with lots of school districts, bringing fresh fruits and vegetables into the schools, so your students are eating those throughout the school year. And we also do a composting program, even though from third Thursday. So, please support Click. We're a great organization that has a lot of impact on the community.
Yeah, and I just want to say, if you call in before the end of the show, we're giving away 2 free tickets. So you got to call in at, what's the number there, Matt?
860-456-1400.
860-456-1400. 2 free tickets if you call in before the end of the show.
First caller.
You got to call in right away. So we're waiting for you. 2 free tickets to this fabulous event with food and fabulous Bruce John and Patty Tewitt and Jason Alteri will all be there with music. So you'll have food, a beautiful atmosphere, and you'll be able to have a great time tasting different types of liquors that are made right here. And free tickets, 2 free tickets, 860-4... Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we got a caller, folks. And she's got 2 free tickets, and we're thrilled that we have a caller, and we will be having her get those tickets. So that's great work. And
point out, Susan, those tickets are compliments of Susan Johnson and Dennis O'Brien.
Yes, they are.
We will be there buying our own tickets. So that's 4 tickets we've bought, and we want to make sure this is a smash hit, a big success.
We love that, and we want to thank
the kind of music we're going to have, the site, it's going to be a great time for everybody.
Very great, and it's from Jean Dismay, and we are going to be able to, get those tickets to Jean, 2 free tickets to Jean Dismay, and thank you, Jean, for listening to Let's Talk About It.
Thanks, Jean.
All right.
We'll see you at the event.
Yes, we will. This is
Fantastic.
Fabulous.
Can I give the website?
Yes, please.
And so if you're listening and you're sad that you didn't beat Jean Dismay to calling in, thank you so much, Jean. You're a wonderful supporter of Click. I know you. Thank you. The website is www.clillillimantic.com. ClickWillRomantic.com, and if you just go to our events page, you could buy your own tickets, and we would love to have you. It's going to be a great celebration and a way to support our community and just build a lot of positive energy. And the 2 food trucks that will be there are Twin Beaks, who you may know. Jefferson was one of our members for a long time, and then Maria, our longest member, who's amazing, the Angeles Mexican food. And so the food's going to be great, the music's going to be great, and we're really excited. Thank you. Thank you for supporting us.
Oh, absolutely. We love this.
And the company's going to be great. It's going to be a
Fabulous.
great group of people. Jean Dismay is going to be there.
Wonderful.
Susan Johnson, Dennis O'Brien, and of course, Kathryn will be there too.
Oh, yes, and the staff.
Kathryn
Staff are all
Stahlberg.
coming. They're excited.
And our Commissioner Hurlbert,
Yeah.
Brian Hurlbert will be there, and he cares so much about agriculture. He cares so much about making sure Connecticut has great opportunities for creating food here. And I just want to say again, one of the things I learned at the Capitol when I first got there, because we were looking at farms and that sort of thing, is that at that time, we only had 3 days of a supply of food. I don't know what it is now, but when I first got there, only 3-day supply of food. So if you've got a supply chain problem, we want to make sure that we have the agricultural capacity here to take care of the people in Connecticut, and that we work together with the other states to take care of them too.
Yeah, so we worked, Chelsea and I, while she was 9 months pregnant in June, we stayed up 10, 11 o'clock at night, many nights in the last week in June, to submit a new USDA proposal. I don't know if we'll be successful. We haven't heard back yet. They only are going to fund 20 in all 50 states. But I don't know if you know the Franklin Mushroom Farm that went out of business when I was a teenager in the 90s.
I do.
But if we were to get the money, Chelsea and I and others at Click would be able to further build out our food hub out there using some of the space and having more of that kind of light processing that's needed to build and strengthen our local food chains.
That would be fabulous.
Okay, Kathryn gave the how to get onto the Click website. What I do, I do it simply. I just type in CLICK. That's it. And
it pops up right away because you Google
Click,
it enough.
I'm sorry, that's not it. Click Willimantic.
Yes.
That's all I did.
ClickWillimantic.com.
And I got onto the Click Willimantic, to the Click website today, and I'll tell you what, they do all kinds of great things. And I'm going to ask Kathryn to talk a little bit about some of the different individualized functions of Click that they do for our community and the people who live in our community at large.
Yeah, so we have 4 programs. So what Phoebe and her students dreamt up back in 2008, 2009, bought the building, opened our doors 10 years ago this month, is the commercially licensed cooperative kitchen. So that's the 27 food businesses. And the reason that that's so important is we help our members with all of their paperwork with the Department of Health to get certified. We do Surf Safe classes. We have most of our staff is bilingual Spanish from Spanish-speaking countries in Central and South America. And so, there's a lot of barriers barriers to entry if you're an immigrant in this country to having your own food business, and Click really addresses that. So that's the core of our mission. And then our 3 additional programs include the delivery of food to 53 local households. That's grown from 26 local households earlier this year. And that in 2025 could not be more important as the food costs and inflation have gone up and the federal programs have been cut so drastically. And additionally, we do composting and food waste reduction, and that's actually really important for our planet and environmental justice, and that's supported by Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut. And then our last program is this food hub, right, that Chelsea and Talia Perez, who's a local Willimantic resident as well and a former student of Phoebe's, she's a new employee as of last month, and we're working to build out more demand for local food in the grocery stores and in our school systems and hospitals and nursing homes so that we can support farmers at the best prices, right? Because if you're a farmer and you're just selling at wholesale, you might not even have the best prices. You might not have the best places to sell. And so we're working on that.
When I typed in Click Willimantic on my computer today, I found that you are connected to a whole slew of farms. Mm-hmm. How many farms are you connected with?
36 farms.
Wow. Wow, and they're all noted and they're all pictured on the website.
Yeah, most of them are.
Most
Not all
well,
36. Yeah.
There's plenty of them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there is. You can
Took
check
me a
them
long
out.
time to read it all.
I was at Little Dipper when Art came by the other day. I was up at Little Dipper, which is just north of here. I mean, there's a lot of great local farms that, these are people who are determined 365 days a year to keep our food local. And it's not easy work given the weather and given the prices and given a lot of the issues of instability in Eastern Connecticut, but they are trying their best. These are the best people on the planet, and we're very lucky to partner with 36 of them.
Yeah, I am really thrilled about that, and I just have to give a little bit of history about myself.
Please do.
I come from a farm family,
Good.
and my grandmother had blueberry acres of blueberry, and she was a farmer, and when I was very little, they had cows and chickens and all those kinds of things in rural Maine. So I have a farm background that's kind of teeny small, but nevertheless, I have a real appreciation for farms, agriculture, and what they do, and how hard the work is, and how talented people have to be farmers. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to know how to do just about every single thing there is to know. Yeah. I mean, you have to know all about how to fix things and how to grow things, and I mean, people who do farming are amazing, and they actually have an amazing capacity to understand how things work and get things done.
It's not easy to do it. I know they don't take vacations very often.
No, not if you're a dairy farmer. I mean,
dairy farmer especially.
That's the joke. Like, there's all these jokes where, like, why would you, lock yourself 365 days a year, 3 times a day? No, there's no vacations. There's no nothing. But, it's a labor of love to keep the land in agriculture.
It's got to be.
It's in your blood, and you can't let it go. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not rational when it comes to dollars and cents some years. Other years are better, right? This is the kind of, you have to be long-term thinkers to be farmers.
Well, I'm a city boy, and I've never worked on a farm, or I've never been involved with a farm myself.
It's not too late. You want to
No,
yes,
Kathryn, it is too late.
I used to bring him up to be with my grandmother during blueberry season, and she'd try and get us to rake the berries. And of course, I raked the berries when I was growing up, and our daughter raked the berries when she was growing up. And she'd ask Dennis, "You want to rake some berries?" And Dennis would go,
"Oh, I went out with you one day, and we raked enough berries for her to make us a blueberry pie."
That was
and that was about it. That was my contribution. I said, "Hey, this is my vacation."
Hard work. It's hard work.
It is really hard
There's
work.
Salt of the earth people to do this work.
And you mentioned dairy farmers. I've represented a few dairy farmers as a lawyer, and I asked them to show me all they do, and they took me around and showed me everything they do, and told me how year-round how much they do, and creating food for the cows and whatnot and all that stuff. I said, "Wow," because there's an awful lot of people, an awful lot of farms. The old farmers get older, and they want to pass the farm on to the next generation, and sometimes it isn't easy, and only one of them maybe will come forward, because a lot of people who have done a lot of farming when they're younger, because it's one of the reasons people had big families back in the old days, right?
Yeah.
Because they needed to put the kids to work as soon as they could do it.
Yeah.
And some of these kids, after a while, they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's interesting,
hard.
A lot of these farms that we partner with, the 36 farms, they're diversifying the income on the farm. So often, like Westford Hills Distillers, I mean, they have day jobs too.
Yeah.
And they farm. and they have event space, and. I mean, these are people who understand
Yeah.
the complexity of trying to keep the land in agriculture. It's not easy.
Right.
And so Little Dipper, too, they're doing like yoga retreats, and they're farming, and they're
Yep.
having weddings, and dairy farms are doing the same thing. Like one of the great partners that we had in upstate New York, they had a pie shop, and they were dairy farmers, and, right? Like, and they had 3 daughters who helped them. Like, this is just what it takes to keep land in agriculture. It's not easy.
Not
No.
at all.
And
Not
And
easy at
so
all.
We
No.
need government support. We need philanthropy support. We need donors. I mean, I said click willimantic.com. I mean, you can just donate. We have an annual fund. We're trying to raise $200,000 because that's how much these programs we run are in the red, even though we get government support, even though we get, it's just really hard, even though we run ourselves on a shoestring, it's just really hard to do this kind of work. And I wish more organizations were doing it, but we're doing it. And so please support us if you have time. I mean, some people are going to get tax breaks this year, whether you want them or not. We're a place that you can make a positive impact in your community. So consider us at your end of year giving. Thank you.
And they are doing it so well, folks. So please support this event on Sunday, the 28th of September.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So some of the things that I wanted to also talk about, Click has been helping with the inspiration of the organic recycling. And I know that Phoebe has been very big, and people at Click have been very big about recycling our organic waste. And one of the things that we were able to do with the council and the Southeastern Council of Governments is get a grant for about a little less than $500,000 to create the system here in our transfer station for recycling of organic waste. And I'm very thrilled that we were able to get that going. We're still in the process of putting it into effect, but I thought you might want to talk a little bit about the recycling of organic waste and how important it is to make sure that we have organic waste that is usable for farms. It's organic. It's not like it's chemically created, and that's another way for us to also save the taxpayers money when it comes to the the weight of the tonnage. Because if people start taking their organic waste and making it into compost, then what will happen is our tipping fees will go down because we'll have fewer tons of organic waste.
That's right. So we do a lot at the 5 Third Thursdays, the Hop Fest, and some other local festivals annually here in Willimantic to help reduce waste, right? So our waste reduction coordinator, Annie, is incredible. She works for us about 10 hours a week and is actually does a lot of the corn on the cob with a wood chipper to turn it into compost, because you have to give your compost a little extra help. We get the coffee grounds donated from the local Starbucks that our staff loves, and they just did this through a personal relationship, because making really good compost that we then sell at a very reasonable rate back to our farmers from these local events is diverting from our landfills, and it's nurturing our soil, because again, we're investing in the future. And this is part of the whole environmental justice movement, food sovereignty movement, about understanding your food waste, understanding how you're part of your environment, and we are connected as human beings to our environment through our food. And so, this is a really exciting thing. We put out info products. So if you know of our Facebook page or our Instagram page, there's a recent video that Juan Pablo and Annie did that's really exciting. The statistics are great. This is a really positive program. And again, we're grateful for the Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut to support us in that.
Yes, we've been very, very excited about it. I've always wanted to do the composting organic waste. And just thinking back to when I was a little one, everybody used to use their organic waste, and we still have a little bucket in the back of our house that people would put all their organic waste in, and then people would come by and pick it up every week.
Yeah.
And
that was common everywhere.
Right.
When I was growing up in New Britain, we had one of those too.
Yeah.
And they picked it up.
Well, so if you're ever interested, you can come to 41 Club Road, and you can see what Annie built this summer. We have our own very beautiful composting site, and the videos on our Facebook page, and you can learn about it, and you can do it at your own house. I mean, I know some communities across Connecticut are trying to have their own composting, and often you have to pay to do it because there's a coordination cost involved. It's wonderful that you got the equipment here in Willimantic to be able to do it, and I just think you need in your town budget some dedicated funds to keep that going.
Yeah, no, we actually need to inspire people to, do that and bring it to first we'll get people who are really into it to bring their organic waste, and then over time, I know first of all, Councilwoman Don Niles, she actually was a person who got the schools involved. So the schools will be taking their organic waste. Now, if we get the restaurants, to help us out, and then people who are on fire about getting the organic waste done and getting it out of there, because you hate to see the organic waste going into your garbage. You want to see that
diverted,
that great banana peel turn into some compost.
That's right.
And all those kinds of things are the kinds of things that'll really help our environment, and they'll save us a lot of money.
That's right. And there's all kinds of ways you can put worms to work to help, create better soil. And there's so many great composting methods that are so exciting that we like to promote and get those young people involved. Nachog, my childhood best friend from East Adam is actually the principal at Nachog. And she's doing a lot to connect her students with, the salmon hatcheries here and understand the environment that we're in. And there's so many opportunities with the composting program to get kids excited about learning science while helping.
Well, it is scientific, and I like my oldest grandchild, who wants to be a doctor, and she's in her second year at Fordham University. One of her favorite things is cooking, but cooking is very scientific.
It is. That's right.
I said it's all about understanding the chemicals, understanding how the chemistry of your food works.
Yep.
I mean, those are the kinds of things so when you put something together, it's going to work. And you might have innovative ideas about different types of ways to do food. And if you understand how the chemicals work with the food, then you're going to be able to be a very good cook and come up with really good ideas.
I rely on Susan for all that.
So
that's not my thing.
You mentioned inspiring the restaurants. I can say that our 27 food businesses at Click, we actually promote them using compostable food containers from their food trucks. So that's that can go in the compost.
That's great.
That's great.
And we buy it and sell it to them so that they can have it at no cost. Yeah.
I remember when Chelsea Courier came on here one time. That was when they were and it might have been somebody from Third Thursday as well with her. And that's when they implemented doing the Third Thursday collection for the composting.
Yeah, they do.
That was great.
I mean, Annie is so incredible, and the staff and the volunteers and the board members and all the people who volunteer to make that happen. And it's a whole education, and they man the stations to explain, that's trash. That's compost, that's recycling. Everybody needs the education, and so Click provides those info products and that coordination of those community events.
It's a very important function, I think.
Mm-hmm. Very, very important.
An awful lot of people don't know anything about it, and, there's a lot to know.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Community Foundation will continue to support us.
I hope so, yeah. I think that the idea of understanding the food, where it comes from, how it's put together, all those kinds of things are scientific, and there are things that, we've kind of let it all go to all these different corporations, and I think bringing the community back in and get everybody involved in their food, because hey, it's part of living, and having people understand it is a really, really good way to get another way to get our sense of community together. Yeah. Because it's something that's so important, and it's something we can all relate to, because we all have to have some food.
Yeah.
And we all want to make sure the food we eat is good for us.
Getting back to our sense of our sense of community needs a lot of improvement. I mean, we've really been hampered a lot by COVID, by the internet, by television, by I can remember. I'm old enough to remember when I was a kid growing up in the city of New Britain. I was 7 or 8 years old. I knew everybody on my street. Everybody. We were always outside. People were outside. They would have, the garbage collection, they'd call it, and the milkman would come, and people would buy fruits and vegetables off a truck. Yeah. It was amazing, but it's not that way anymore.
Well, not here, but it is in some other places still. In Washington, D.C., in Columbia Heights, which is a very Hispanic neighborhood, and from the metro on my walk home, I could buy my mango slices.
Sure,
I could buy off the,
Yeah, in big cities, yeah, sure. In parts of them. Yeah.
Depends. Everything's very neighborhood based, but I agree with you about, I've got 7 and 9-year-old boys who are in elementary school, 3rd and 4th grade, and I want them to be on their screens less.
Yes.
At school, they're on their screens. Their classrooms have these huge screens, public school down in Groton where we live, and and when they come home, they learn so much from the television and the video games, but still, it's more screens.
Yeah.
And so if we can somehow harness technology and AI to help us live better more vibrant, healthy lives, that would be great. And, there are solutions if you're looking for them. And I think Click is a very solution-oriented organization.
Fantastic. I think it's fantastic. And we've always, from the first time we talked about it with Phoebe when she was on the show more than 10 years ago, for sure. Probably 14, 15 years ago. And, we Susan and I have always been big supporters of Click and what Click has done and are amazed by the success that you've had.
I'm impressed by Phoebe and Tina. I mean, these are some resilient women. I mean, they came up with this idea. It's not easy. We just had a big, difficult board meeting this afternoon. Like, the dollars and cents don't always add up, but we just keep trying.
Oh, you came here from a board meeting? From a difficult board meeting? Wow.
I mean, it's 2025 and I run a struggling nonprofit.
Yeah.
If it was like a happy, everyone's leaving smiles and butterflies, you're not living in reality. So I go to a lot of group board meetings of other executive directors of other great nonprofits here in Willimantic and across Eastern Connecticut. It is a very tough year. So people who get tax breaks, if you're not give it to Click, give to somebody else because it's tough. It is a tough world out there for families living in poverty.
Okay, it's time to talk about the big event coming up on Sunday, September 28th.
Yes.
So
this is going to be a celebration of 10 years of Click. So it's a toast to 10 years of Click. There's going to be food from Twin Beaks and from Angela's Mexican food restaurant, two of our members of Click. There's going to be music from Bruce John, Patty Tuitt, and Jason Altieri. The Connecticut Ag Commissioner, Brian Hilbert, will be there. Our small Click members, staff will be there. We'll have 2 members there. And we're excited to celebrate Click. You should come join us. It's a beautiful farm. If you haven't been to Westford Hills Distillers, Ashford, Connecticut, 196 Shaddy Road. Please come help support us. Celebrate. It's something to feel good about in 2025. You can help support your local community. We work with 36 farms, and we do food deliveries every Wednesday to 53 food insecure household here in Willimantic.
And you'll get a chance to meet Kathryn Stahlberg. And you'll get a chance to meet Susan Johnson, Dennis O'Brien, Bruce John, Patty Tuitt, and Jean Dismay.
Woo!
All great people. worth meeting. And we'll be there and we'll have a great time. Oh, and Margaret Chatty too.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, maybe baby.
Oh, it'd be great to see Margaret.
Yes.
Okay, maybe Chelsea.
Maybe Gretchen. Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully. She did not commit to that.
Okay.
Baby's still small.
Okay.
Right.
That's right. Well, we'll see. But hey, it's been a great pleasure having Kathryn Stahlberg on the show and talking about Click again. I think in our all-time list of guests for the past 25 years, I think representatives of Click are in the top 10. Mm-hmm. We've had them on a lot. And,
Thank you
and
for having
we'll continue
me.
to do that
love to have you
because
here.
we love Click and we love what you do and we love the major role you play in not only in Windham but in the entire region.
Thank you.
And you can go online and buy these tickets.
Okay, we'll be back next week with another terrific guest. In fact, we're going to have the new superintendent of Windham Public Schools, Iris Gomero, will be with us on Let's Talk About It next Friday, and that's the 26th of September. And we'll see everybody on Chatty Road in Ashford on the 28th.
Thank you both so much for having us.